Y'all already know what it is. Jay Williams, let's live life, and we're back. Tales from the visiting room. Man, you're going to see some crazy things in the visiting room. Let's relive it. Now, two things for sure is you're going to meet a lot of guys in a lot of different places that have the same name. Ace, New York, B-More, Killer. You'll run into so many guys, if you do any substantial amount of time, that have the same name. Today, we're going to be talking about crazy things I saw in the visiting room. Give y'all a couple stories. The first one I'm going to give y'all is of Ace. Ace was a penitentiary junkie, man. Every time dope hit the yard, heroin came around, Ace was in there. Ace had his people sending money to everybody. Ace never had commissary. Any property he got, he would be so happy he got a new TV. And it's kind of sad because within a week, Ace would run out of ways to get dope and he'd trade off his TV. Everybody knew Ace was a junkie. It was no secret. You might walk by and Ace be shooting up. You might be on the yard and see Ace shooting up. Ace was one of those guys that went to prison for getting high and just never stopped. He got to prison and turned all the way up, running around like a chicken with its head cut off behind these dope boys trying to get high. Ace never got no visits like that. I can't remember of any time Ace ever got a visit except for the story that I'm going to share with y'all today. Now, I would get visits. At one point, I would get them about once a month. My mom would come up. My son would come up with his mom. Different people might show up here and there to check on me. But I never saw Ace in the visitation room. On the day that this happens, man, Ace is walking around and he is just smashed. This dude is smacked out of his mind. He is taking several shots of heroin that day. I get called to the visiting room. Go over there, I go through the process. When you go through it, first you got to go in this little room where they got lockers and stuff. 2 guards are in there. They strip you down butt naked. Check your clothes to make sure you're not bringing anything in. Because if you watch part 1, dude took a razor in there and cut his girl. So now they shake you down going in. Then when you're done with your visit, same routine. Squat, cough, spread your cheeks. They shake down all your clothes. So I do the going through process. I go on in. I sit down with my people. Eating, they got vending machines. The only thing your people can bring in is 1 car key and a bag of change, like $20 in quarters per person. My people bring these bags of quarter in. We're sitting there eating our food, eating little cheeseburgers you can microwave, chicken wings, and that shit was so good at the time. Most people be like, I'm not eating no chicken out of a vending machine. You would if you were in prison, and you'd eat as much as you could. Talking to my people, and the way I'm positioned, I can see the door that opens. They make you face towards the officers, and that's also the door that opens that inmates come through and sit down with your family. Sometimes your family will already be in there. You walk in, find your loved ones. You got a couple minutes, you give them a hug, kiss your wife, kiss your girl, hug your kids, whatever, and then y'all sit down. And at that point there's no more contact. Y'all can sit and talk, but they don't like you touching each other. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to my people, and I keep glancing up. Dudes are walking in the visiting room. These are the regular dudes I see in there whenever I'm in there. I nod, they nod, go find their people and sit down. I'm talking, I look up, and I see Ace come through the door. Ace was not expecting no visit. Ace is teetotally fucked up. This dude comes through and he looks just like a whole entire junkie, like just a mess. You ever seen somebody so high you didn't have to wonder if they were high? You just knew, like, damn, that dude's high, like high as astronaut ass, high as gas prices, high as giraffe pussy. Like, dude was high. He comes in, ain't nobody in there for him yet. He sits down at the table, and he's sitting diagonally from me by himself, waiting on his visitors to come in. I'm looking over, and he's nodding out, nodding hard. I already know this is going to end bad. These guards are going to see this. Ace's ass is getting let up out there giving a piss test, and he's going to the hole. Ace's people come in. Ace stands up. They hug. I don't know who it was that came to see him. It was an old woman and an old man. They sat down. They're talking. I look over, and while they're talking, Ace is trying to eat the little food he's got in the vending machine, and he's nodding. He would nod for a good 30, 45 seconds, and then lift his head back up and go back to eating. This is in a prison visiting room with guards, civilians, children. Now he's drawing the attention of everybody. Everybody keeps looking over to Ace. And I had seen Ace on the yard, in the pod, in many different situations, just get high to the point that he would nod out and completely fall over. So you already know where I'm going with this. Ace is sitting in the chair. He's got his soda in his hand. He leans a little bit. The soda starts to pull out. Ace falls. Boom! Completely out the chair in the middle of the visiting room. Guards hop up, look. The people sitting next to him stand up and look over at him. He's to knock the table over. Changes went everywhere. Two people that came to visit him have stood up and are looking at him. The table's flipped. Ace is on the ground. Ace tries to get up, tries to regain his composure like, oh shit, I must have slipped. By now, everybody knows what's going on. Guards come over. They tell Ace's people, y'all need to go. Y'all need to go ahead and go. We need to handle the situation. Ace stands up and do this shit. Like I said, smacked out of his mind on the heroin. They take Ace into the hallway. They're questioning about what's going on. Ace throws up in front of them. As he's talking to them, he gets sick, pukes on the floor, pukes across the officer's boots. He's trying to get to the trash can, hold his mouth, and just throws up everywhere. They took old Ace back, pissed Ace right on the spot. Ace fell for dirty. Ace lost his good time, lost any chance of ever getting any visits going forth in the future. And just like that, Ace was shipped up off the compound, and he was gone. How the hell? He should have refused the visit. I would have never, I don't get high, but I would have never went over there. I've smoked weed and went to the visiting room. I ain't never, that's crazy to do some dope and then go over there, A, for your people to see you, B, knowing you've done too much, and C, to be in the presence of cops. You should be hiding in your cell somewhere with the door shut so they can't see you. But this dude was so stoked about a visit that he went on a straight crash test dummy mission. Crashed and burned in front of everybody. Crazy, crazy things. Got another one I'm going to give y'all, man. And this is a crazy situation as well. There's this dude, and he's got a wife. But it's like his wife, he's been locked up now 6-7 years. His wife left him. So he's trying to rekindle things with her. And I'd see him on the phone arguing. Baby, please don't leave me. Is there someone else? Yes, there is someone else. You have been locked up 7 years. There has been many someone else's. There's not many women that are going to hold it down like that. Women got needs too. Just like if your woman's locked up in prison and you're a man out here, there's not many people that are cut from that cloth that are going to stay by themselves. This dude would irritate the piss out of everybody. She wouldn't answer the phone. He would call. He would call. He would call. Baby, please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. Please. He still got an ass load of time to do, like 15 more years. She is gone, homeboy. She agrees to come to the visiting room and see him. He's all stoked. He's telling everybody, I'm going to get my baby back. I'm going to get my baby back. Like, this dude is on cloud 9 because he's going to go over to this visiting room, sit down with his wife, and they're going to iron things out. He's going to fix his marriage, and everything's going to be cool. It always ends bad. I'm sitting in the visiting room, and he coming after me. I'd maybe been in there maybe 20 minutes, or a visit for an hour. And I see this guy and this woman come in and sit down at the table. And then I see dude come in. His wife not only came to see him, she brought his homeboy up there as well, which is a dude that she's messing with. He comes in, nods at a couple people, looks over, sees his wife, and sees his homeboy. You would think initially that, all right, my wife came to see me and she brought my homeboy up here. Y'all know where I'm going with this. That ain't what happened. He's sitting down, they're talking, and she goes ahead and tells him, it's over. We're done. You're not getting out of prison no time soon. You should have thought about that before you got your ass locked up. Love don't live here no more. Stella done got her groove back. His homeboy chimes in and tells him, I didn't want you to find out from somebody else, or I didn't want you to think, I'm a pussy or whatever, that I was doing some snake shit. Me and Shorty, I'm with her now, man. She's doing the divorce papers. I'm going to take good care of her. He's trying to fight his case on how he's a snake. They're over there conversating, and I'm minding my business, talking with my people. enjoying my visit, and then out of nowhere, I hear straight commotion. I look over, and he is on top of this dude, done kicked the table, the chairs out the way, and is whooping his ass right in the middle of the visitation room. Full-fledged fist fight. Little kids everywhere, old people, people that are already nervous about coming to prison to begin with because it's prison, are freaking out, and dude is on top of homeboy, just whooping his ass in the visitation room. The guards run over there. There's not much they can do. It's two females. It's a good-sized dude. He smashed this dude out for about 45 seconds. Just completely beats his ass like they're in an alleyway somewhere and there's nobody watching. Gets up off of him. Tells her, fuck you, bitch. Tells the guards, I'll escort myself out. Turns around. Walks out the visitation room. Walks to the hallway where he's got to get strip searched. By now, they didn't hit the code. Called a bunch of guards. They come in. They send the medical nurse in there. They send more guards in there to check on dude. Dude's not unconscious, but dude is lumped up. Like he did a number on this dude. Dude didn't get nothing off. This dude was just in the midst of trying to, man, it ain't even like that. I got nothing but love. Boom! And he just took off on him. Started beating his ass right in the middle of the visitation room. My mom looks at me. She's like, is this something that happens a lot? I said, what, people getting beat up in the visitation room? Nah, not really. But dudes being snakes like that and women cheating on their men and leaving them, oh yeah, that's an everyday occurrence. They cleaned up that mess. Went back to my visit. I went back to the pod. They had all the dude's stuff packed up. Shipped him up off there. When I say they ship you to the mountains, that means your custody level just went up and you're going to a higher level prison. Man, they got dudes straight the fuck up off there with the quickness. I'm going to give y'all one more real quick and then I'm going to slide out, man. Got to get this money, got to get this job, but I got to keep the channel going and my subs entertained, right? So everybody knew that, and you know that bringing drugs in a lot of times, it comes in through the visitation rooms. Dudes are creative on ways that they get things in. I've seen it done any way that you can imagine. I don't think to date that there's not a way I haven't seen it done. And one of the ways they used to do it is when you would come in the visitation room, it was this little white plastic table, maybe 2 foot high, small table. There'd be 2 chairs at it. If you needed more, they had them stacked over there. The guards would grab you more, depending on how many visitors you had. You could have up to 3. If it was a special visit, you could have up to 5. And when they were done in the visitation room, depending on what shift it was, they would walk through and they would flip all the tables over and all the chairs over to make sure nobody stuck nothing to the bottom of the table. Well, our homeboy works in the visitation room. He lets us know what shift it's going to be, what shifts are lazy and don't check the tables and the chairs. So you got a lot of dudes that are getting stuff brought in and they're strapping them to the bottom of these tables and these chairs, right? Then afterwards, the guy that works in the visitation room, he mops, cleans, does all that. Any of the tables or chairs that got anything strapped to it, he brings it back, gives it to the guys, and that's what it is. So we are sitting there, and how they got it through, I'm not sure, because you have to go through metal detectors. You have to get patted down. There's a process of coming in and through the prison before you actually make it to your loved one or whoever it is you're coming to visit. So I already knew dude was getting the pack. Like I said, everybody knows everything in prison. Nothing is a secret. It's like a big soap opera. You tell one person, he tells one person, now everybody knows. I'm looking at the guards that are on shift, and I'm like, yeah, he's definitely about to get on. So I'm looking over at dude. He's sitting with the girls, sitting with the other people that came to visit him, and I see the pass off. I see her when she puts it in the chip bag, hands him the chip bag, and he's just nonchalantly eating out the chip bag. Now, I see him take what's in the chip bag, and you got to think now, this girl brung this in, strapped to the inside of her leg, strapped to her stomach, strapped somewhere maybe under her tit, in a place where they're not really checking because it's a lazy-ass shift. This thing has got duct tape on it. And when I mean duct tape, not around it, on it, so that he can stick it to the bottom of the table. I see him as he's fidgeting, the guard don't look. I see him adjusting and putting it to the bottom of the table. He's pushing, trying to get it to stick. I said, all right, so dude's getting on. She had brought him a phone. As he's pushing, trying to stick it to the bottom of the table, his hand, he's pushing this phone, pushing. It powers on. His hand is pushing against the buttons. He powers the damn phone on. They're sitting there. Everything's going good. We're going, minding our business. He's got this thing strapped to the bottom of the table. Everybody's talking. It's kind of a little loud in there if you've ever been in a prison visitation room. And out of nowhere, you hear ringing. Ring, ring. This fucking phone starts ringing. This girl got a new phone, brought him the old phone, and he turned the bitch on by accident, strapping it to the bottom of the table. You can see the look of panic in his eyes. He doesn't want to reach under there because the first thing the guards are doing is looking around to see where that noise is coming from. You don't want to be the guy over there fidgeting with the table, so he just kind of sits back. Guards go straight over there, tell everybody, stand up, stand up. They're standing up, they're patting them, and they're still hearing it. They flip the table over. There's the phone strapped to the bottom of the table. Homeboy's like, yo, that's not mine, that's not mine, that's not mine. Now, they have cameras in there, but they usually don't run the cameras back unless they have a reason to. They take his people, put them in the little Sally Port area, tell them take them to the front, don't let them leave yet. Take dude in the back, put him straight in handcuffs. Whether he's innocent or guilty, they'll figure it out. First thing is get him to the hole. I'm still sitting there, and they've got this phone now that's got this duct tape on the bottom of it, and they're looking at it. They done called the captain in, sergeants, lieutenants. There's a good 7, 8 COs. Fucked up everybody's visit. It's entertaining, but, messed up everybody's groove. Anybody else that was trying to get anything in that day better sent that shit back with their people, unstrapped it from the table, and send it on its way, because your ass is going to jail. They're checking every single table. They run the film back, run the tape back, and they see his people pass it off. What do you think happened? The girl that gave him the phone went to jail. Attempted to introduce contraband to a state facility. Dude got all types of charges, got shipped up off there and off to the mountains he would go. I was one of those dudes, I got caught in a visitation one time getting drugs brung in. I learned my lesson. You don't do stupid shit like that unless you want to go to jail or go to the hole. Not everybody understands that. You see people getting locked up, you see people going to the hole, you see people going to jail, but you still want to shoot your shot. Dumb, dumb, dumb shit, man. It is a crazy world we live in, and the penitentiary is just a crazier world inside of this world. But y'all know what it is, man. I'm just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? It's Jay Williams. Let's live life. To all my real ones, and there are some real ones watching, because y'all still watching me. Y'all know how we do. Salute.